again. I think there's 7 or 8 entries in Super Twin already. Yes, 7 already, including Messer Lifford and Marcus Christensen and Per Bengtsson again. Wow, it's going to be fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. For the meantime, we've got to settle this event. And who's going to be taking home the trophy from the Festival of Power in Motorsport UK Pro Modified. There's lots of door car racing that goes on in this country throughout the summer. This is the first event for the big cars. But in a month's time, or just over a month, I think it's 5 weeks, isn't it? Till we get to door slammers. Kev Slyfield is not coming back, unfortunately. After that big long burnout, oh man, now's not the time to have issues. I don't know whether the car's still running or not. He's just lost reverse and he's backing up nice and slowly. I'm sure they'll take their time to get Kev back. It's just whether the reverse has gone and the car's still running or it's completely lost fire. We can't hear from where we are. We'll soon find out. Even if the car's not running, it's going to be a buy run, unfortunately. Dave has signalled it is a buy run, unfortunately. So Kev will have to be back behind the start line before Andy runs. That's a huge shame because both of these cars have been in the 5.9s throughout this weekend. It was shaping up to be the closest racing Pro Modified so far this weekend. As it is, it's just a buy, sadly. Commiserations to Kev Slyfield. Still a good weekend, but just not how he wanted to end it. So it will be anger management versus that pesky red Camaro from Estonia in the final round. At 245 miles an hour. Everybody down there on the start line, pin your ear holes back, you'll like this one as well. 60 foot was a .953, which I think is probably about where you want to be. 8th mile, 3.90, 194, out the back door to a 590, so a 2-second back half. Probably what they were looking for, to be honest with you. They would have been a tough one to get around. Big commiserations to Kev Slyfield. Very disappointed, as you would be, obviously. The races between Kev and Andy are always good. So the final round will be Andrei Arnova from Estonia, just coming around now under the tower.
Oh, I've got to see this.
So it'll be a rematch of the side-by-side run earlier in qualifying between those two. Now, a few people have mentioned this because I keep talking about it. So with when a car runs, or when Pro Modified cars, I should say, door cars run in Pro Modified, so that is at this event, it will be at the main event as well, the FIA main event. They have to be legal to run in the class. What that means is there are weight restrictions, there is a turbo restriction on these cars, a boost controller, which means they're not allowed to produce any more than a certain amount of boost. It levels up all of the different combinations between the supercharger, nitrous and turbo cars. However, at the Door Slammers event in 5 weeks time, we run a class called Pro Door Slammer, which Andrei was almost shooing to win last year until the final round. What you can do with these cars, you can take, that event is unlimited. There's no restrictions apart from safety, okay? So the car is the same car, but they don't run, I'm sure Andrew would say, they don't run with the boost controller. Basically, they let it all hang out to see what the car will really do in unrestricted form. Not to say this is going to be tame, let's put it that way. 582 in round 1, 569 is qualifying number 1. T6 at 253 miles an hour. That's more like it. That's what they were looking to repeat. 0.98 to 60 foot.
That is pretty
8th mile,
consistent.
3.82 at 201. That's how I knew it would be a 570. Cheating, just looking at the numbers. That back half's like nothing else. It does well, a 2 second back half is pretty damn good, but a 1.9 anything back half is pretty
That
standard.
was his second quickest run ever. Just the one yesterday was his quickest. But even that one was quicker than his previous PB.
Yeah, I think I'll be interested to. I won't have a chance to talk to him before the final, but I'll be interested to find out whether he was happier with that run or the one the other day. Because the one the other day, even though it's really quick, wasn't perfect. That may well have been what they were shooting for. Please put your hands together for Kev Schleifield and the whole Blown team. It's great.
Congratulations, guys, but let's have you back at the main event, please.
And Door Slammers, it's great.
Slammers, yeah.
It's great to have you back. The car is for sale. It's still currently in one piece as well, but it's for sale. And the team from Estonia, ladies and gentlemen, absolutely set the world on fire in Pro Modified, and it's only April. So yeah, bear in mind, that 576 at 253 was restricted.
Yes.
Yes. So, semi-finals to top fuel bike, I think are going to be a pair of bye runs. Rene van der Berg, unfortunately, on the bye run in round one. Broke it at the top end. We did have a bit of a clean up and a lot of smoke. Rene was not taking his place in the lane against Steve, so probably Steve will out on his own. And on the other side of the ladder we have a predetermined bye for Neil Midgley. So let's see how far Steve takes it down the track. Steve was 6:35, 209 miles an hour, low ET of the weekend for top fuel bike, and frankly, a lot more like it. Well done. 60 foot was a 106, 8th mile 413 at 181, and a 6:35 at 209 was very, very nice indeed. Sets up the final round very nicely between himself and Midjo. But obviously they want to make sure the bike gets on the start line this time. Now Neil Midgley is pretty experienced on this bike, and a few years ago when he started riding it, took a little while to get comfortable, but when he did, my goodness me, he had it pinned from one end to the other. I have a feeling the similar is going on now, where he's just taking it further and further down the track, getting more comfortable again on the bike after the rebuild and everything that happened a few years ago at TIA. And that was evident with his qualifying run the other day. He was number one for a while, but he clipped it off before the 8th mile. He still went 385 to the 8th. Which is, needless to say, world class. Still goes 6:57 at 1:46. For you number fans out there in the bike world, 9.96 to a 60 foot, 3.88 to the 8th mile, 188 miles an hour. That was a 5-second run, he just clipped it that little bit early. That's what I said he was doing, going a bit further, just kind of making sure.
Cockrell, he had the bye in round one, courtesy of being number one qualifier, but this time has got Len Paget. Now Len was a DNQ at round one, but unfortunately does not appear in round two. When I say round one, he did not qualify at round one of the championship. Springsby came through and won the event as an alternate. Yeah. But he is due to be racing Danny here, but unfortunately has not appeared. So Danny gets another solo. Our commiserations, Len.
That's a shame. That was Bike's best run in a long while earlier in round one. Will it be another 7-0? It is 7:05 at 202. It's not a dialing class, Dan. Semi-final or the final, who knows? Okay, Daniel Madeira taking on Grandals. This should be a great race as well. Both these two are in the low sevens now. Daniel running his quickest run ever in the first round of racing out there in the Kestrel Lane. Hold shot to Daniel by that takes the win with a 47 to a 46. That will go down as a whole shot win. And another great race.
Yeah, 4 off the line. I mean, that was a visible whole shot. But well done to Daniel. Right, this is Michael Biggett on a predetermined bye.
This is the South semis, is it?
It is, yeah. Michael will be facing Daniel. And then you'll have Keith Wright and Jasmine Cordell race to face Danny Cockrell on the other side of the ladder.
That looks very smooth. Look at that, he just can't quite get over 200 miles an hour. 199.80 again.
Jasmine Cordell, she went 7:17 in Q1.
As a bye run, should have been against Keith Wright, but no Keith coming around for this round of racing.
Now what we didn't know, thanks to Brent Cordell for this one, Jasmine torched the block yesterday and they didn't finish putting it back until about midnight last night.
Joy.
So yeah, what races have to do just to keep going rounds.
Well, it's all the work that goes on. Again, I wouldn't say behind the scenes, but it isn't, because you can go over and see it.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's never a time you walk around the pits and there isn't someone with an engine or something in a zillion pieces. Jasmine's she's just going to take smart move, save it for the semi-finals where she'll be racing, Colin.
Danny Cockrell.
That will be spicy, provided the bike is still in one piece. While she's on the start line, give her a round of applause, please. She ran her first ever 7-1 in round one. That young lady can ride, definitely. And she's going up against the number one qualifier in the semi-finals to boot. Okay, we have Oklahoma Willie, which will be closely followed by round 2 of Sportsman ET. I'm not sure how the run will go from now on.
No, I don't know, so I'll get
whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, exactly that. So, Oklahoma Willie, well, we gave him a really good introduction earlier on today. As we know, a field find in Oklahoma in the night. Well, and that's right, I don't know how long ago Perry found this, but the vehicle was first built in the 1950s. And it was used literally as a farm truck. And it was eventually discovered by Perry. The deal was done with Willie, who owned the field, obviously, and owned this bus. But it's shipped back to the UK and restored into what you see here. nicely done indeed once again for Oklahoma Willie and Perry Watkins there. So we look into the lanes as Darryl pointed out, it is Sportsman ET.